Hola amigos, ¿qué pasa? Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna run through my latest track, which is an edit of a beautiful song which is called Diaraby. Before starting, I have to thank everybody who bought the sample pack and those who sent me messages with beautiful tracks made with the sound in the pack. Also, if you don't know what the sample pack is about, you find a link to a demo on my SoundCloud here in the description and the link to the sample pack in my website. Please check it out. Why did I make an edit of this track? Because I love it. I got in touch with the track a few years ago through original mix from Digitaline. He took the traditional African song Diaraby Nene and he made an original mix out of it, so I think he paid the rights to do that because it was officially released on Beatport, so through a label. I played that track a lot because it's awesome, it's so powerful, it's a good track, so Digitaline version is at the top. But a few weeks ago I was listening to some random music and I came across the original song, so the traditional African song Diaraby Nene, and I decided to make my own version, so here we are. So let's check it out. I suggest you to use headphones, so headphones on. Okay, we start from the original track. What did I do? The hardest part was to warp the song because the song was not recorded with the metronome, I guess, because the tempo is going up and down. So I had to warp every single measure manually because the automatic warping didn't work. So here, as you can see, there are all the markers. That means I put them one by one, and the result is pretty good. There are some parts which are a little bit slightly before or after the beat, so out of tempo, but you don't hear that a lot, so it's good. I put some filters, some EQ, because I wanted to take out the bass in order to leave space for my kick and my bass line. That's the original track, and with the EQ filter, a little bit of compression. The track has a lot of dynamics, so I put a little bit of compression to reduce the dynamics a little bit, and also the LFO tool allows me to have a little bit decrease on the volume when the kick is playing. But it's really subtle, so you don't hear it. Okay, so that's for the original track. Then I added all the rest of the instruments. So if I take out the original track, that's all what I have. Okay, so let's start from the drums. I have my kick, my go-to kick on my latest tracks. This is made with, I have to take my headphones off because I can't hear myself. Okay, so I have the kick, which is my go-to kick, and it's from the Gold Baby pack. Then we have this bongo loop. I made it chopping sounds and putting them together in a loop, so this is self-made, handmade. it's not a pre-made loop. And here we have the other percussion loop. And this is not a loop, it's actually made with all the sounds, so what is important is to set the volume of each sound. So for example, this sound is really subtle. This as well, I use the velocity. Then I have a clap loop, this is in my sample pack. Maracas, this is more like the egg, you know, the egg when you... And then another weird sound that I made. And last but not least, I have those two sounds from the Chemist Tycho. They are in the sample pack. And in this part, I use the delay to create this effect. So the drums together, they sound like this. Then there's the bass line. The bass line is made with many layers of bass. So I have the first layer made with synth. Then the main bass, let's call it the main bass because it's the more complex. And this is made with the Wavetable plugin. It's the native plugin on Ableton 10. Also, those two pitch bend basses are made with the Wavetable. So the bass together. And with the kick. Also, I have this kind of bass guitar that I made with Reactor, with the Prism from Reactor, and it sounds like this. With the bass, it's sounding pretty good. Okay, and then we have all the effects and layers. So here I have a layer, the main layer, for example, which is I think I took a pad and sampled it. Then I have this effect. And the reverse part. Then we have this percussion sound. Snare here. I freaking love those snare hits. And last but not least, I have this synth that I made with the C-length I used in a lot of my older tracks. And it's really good to create the build-up, but also to create a texture in the background. You can act on the distortion and the filter to create something really interesting. Yeah, it's for the build-up. And that's pretty much it. So there's nothing more. It's mainly the percussions that make the track. So the groove made with the percussion. If I solo the drums, you have the track. And then with the original track. Okay, so for the mix, one question that I have in a lot of the comments in my video is how I mix the kick and the bass. So mainly there's no rule for kick and bass. In my case, I do it by ear. I don't go to cut certain frequencies on the bass and certain on the kick to give space to both, but it's more of a balance of volume. So the starting point, in my case, I learned it from a tutorial on YouTube. It was from the Recording Revolution, I think, which is an awesome channel. Check it out. And he said that a good starting point is to have bass and kick that are on average on the same level. So if you take a look on the level of my main bass here, it's more or less at this level. And if I go to the kick, it's not the same, but almost the same. Probably the kick is a little bit higher in volume because I wanted the attack to be really hearable. Another important thing I think is the drum bass compressor. So when you have all your drums, you create a group that put all the drums together, and on the group you put a compressor, a bass compressor. In my case, is the emulation of the distressor. And something that I learned from other people, of course, is to use a slow attack and a fast release. In this way you have all the background drums, such as the hi-hats, the saddle sounds, that comes up. So that's pretty good. I can hear that. I hope you can hear it as well. So this is without. For example, that's in the background, it's more present with the compressor on, especially in the upbeat, so when the kick is not playing. And so the track is more glued and more pumping. Okay, cool. On the master side, I use an EQ to cut the low frequencies, and here I had a resonant frequency. Then I use this beautiful compressor with an emulation of the Shadow Hill compressor. In the master, I always use a slow attack and a fast release because I want not to touch the transients and just to massage all the peaks and put them in a more controlled way. Okay, that's it. Then I have another EQ, rise up the volume because I deactivated the maximizer. This you can hear the difference on the high frequencies. Then I have a multi-channel compressor. I always use the multi-electro mastering preset. This is from Waves, and it's working good. Then maybe I make some adjustment, but the starting point is really good. Then I have the isotope exciter. It adds a little bit of distortion and it makes the sound richer. And then of course the maximizer to raise the volume and limit the track. Yeah, maybe sometimes you can hear the slightly out of tempo track that is going on, but I don't care. All my edits are made in this way. I mean, I always use the track and I want it to be really present. So there are some people that make edits and use just a tiny bit part of the track. I like to use the track and make it really present in the edit, so that's my way of working. I hope the video was interesting and not boring. Sorry if sometimes I get boring, but I get lost in the details and also with my English. You know, I hope you understand me. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like the video so you help me with the evil algorithm of YouTube, and subscribe to the channel if you didn't do it yet. Also, if you want to keep updated, follow me on Instagram. I put a lot of stupid Instagram stories. So guys, thanks for watching this video. The link to the song on Bandcamp is in the description. I'll see you the next time. Cheers. Thank you.